Thank you. It's good to be here. Good to be here. And it's great to create a partnership like this with SEDC, New Directions and SEDC. And we just kind of got together and started talking about teaming. And then particularly, Dennis and Shelby zeroed in on this notion of cross-cultural issues related to teaming, which are significant. I mean, it's hard at best sometimes to have people work together in a team. And then to add the cultural dimension to it is also sometimes just that added thing that makes it difficult. So today is all about sensitizing you to that. I thought it might be fun. Most of us know how to say hello in another language, whether it's guten tag or ni hao or bonjour or whatever. So turn to the person next to you or somebody that you haven't connected with yet and just say hello to them in a different language, real quick. That's great. Good. All right. So that's half the deal, is just getting more comfortable with being kind of culturally oriented. I'm going to begin by sharing with you a story of kind of a misadventure of how I ended up getting so committed to this, working on my own understanding of cultures. And it came out of a big mistake, which isn't that often how we end up deciding to learn something, because we end up in a situation that was a big mistake. So this happened probably now 10 years ago, maybe even more. I was working with an HIV team. It was in a pharmaceutical company. It was a vaccine that they were working on. And the team was composed of a significant number of people who were French, significant number who were Canadians, a couple of people from US, and a couple from that were Romanian. All right, so the first thing that I thought, because I was training on teaming, I thought, well, you know what I'll do? I always have this little activity where I hand out index cards, right? And so I started to hand out the index card, and I said, I want you to write your title on the index card, and then I'm going to collect all the index cards, right? Because in teaming, we want to get away from the idea of titles, right? You're just a group of people with a lot of skills and abilities working together. Or so I thought. So I gave the assignment, and all of a sudden there was a fellow named Claude, and he starts to go, oh. And I went over, I said, Claude, are you all right? Are you sick? Are you ill? What? He goes, oh, no, it's this activity. It's making me very stressful. I was like, what's stressful about it? I'm not really taking your title, Claude. I'm just going to put it over here. I had no idea at that point that I was taking away from him something that was so critically important to him. You see, in our North American culture, we don't have a problem like going against authority, saying, okay, yeah, my boss is in the room, but if I don't agree, I'm just going to tell him or her I don't agree. But that's not how it works in other cultures. And here I was taking away the authority that he had when I was taking his title. Well, this was going to be a 2-day training. This was in the first 5 minutes. Can you tell how this training went? It was like one fiasco after another. I mean, I just did everything wrong for 2 days. Afterwards, the fellow who hired me, who I knew very, very well, he said, could it have gotten any worse? Like this. I said, no, I don't think so. But I made a commitment at that point to say, what, I have to learn how to deal with cultures, because my work requires, I'm over in Singapore or I'm over in other countries. My work requires that I know how to deal with people. How many of you would say, yes, even in your world, your work is going to require that you have an understanding of other cultures. So let's take a look at what we're going to work on today. This is this was my group, by the way, that I did the fiasco with.